And what's going on? Fontaine here, VIPSoundlab.com, and we're back on another tutorial video, this time with the Maschine 2.3 update, slicing and chopping. So what I did was I loaded up the Smack Drums library, banging drum kit, man. We hired some independent sound designers to bring you guys these banging drum samples. So down here I made a beat pattern. It's kind of like a slow tempo drum beat, like you know what I'm saying? So it's like boom, crack, boom, crack. I did it like that because the sample I'm going to use is kind of slowed down like that. I'm not worrying about clipping or nothing like that right now. I just want to get in here and bang this video out right quick so you guys can understand the slicing and chopping. All right, so slicing and chopping with Maschine, you can't overlap samples and your start endpoints and all that good stuff. And we have a lot of detailed tutorial videos on that too. Currently, you can't import MP3s, so you're going to need some type of file converter program and convert that joint into a wave, as I've done here. And on the sound level, make sure you got your polyphony to 1, so then that way the sample will choke itself off. You know, I jump over here first. I always put it in the same choke group first, so then that way when it cuts up the audio, I don't have to sit there and worry about doing that over. All right, so you got different modes. So when you go under slice, okay, you have what's called split mode, which basically just cuts the samples up into equal distant slice points. All right, you got other modes such as grid, which basically slices your sample up based on the beats per minutes in your session. Then you got detect. You know, if you want to adjust the sensitivity of it, you can adjust the sensitivity of your samples like this right here. And you got manual, you can do it manually. You know what I mean? If you want to slice and chop it up on your transient points or however you want to do it and just get in there manually, just flip it however you want to flip it, you can get in there and do it like that. For this tutorial video, I'm going to use grid though, because I want it to be a little more in sequence. I want to get more pads out of it. I want to get 16 pads out of the sample. Now you can click on apply to and do it that way. And the Maschine, it defaulted to, I think, C2 now because of the complete control. But it's easier this way than it was before. It's less problematic having to go to pad mode and look for your samples. So what I do, I'm not going to worry about editing this right now. I'm going to wait till I slice it up first and drag it over to a new group. That's how I do mine. I take this little drag icon right here and I just drag it to a group like this right here. Okay. Then what I do is I go over here to the polyphony, adjust that, put them in the same choke group. So then that way they all choke each other off. And to test that out, we just tap on the pads. All right. So then from that point, what I do with my samples is I go over here to edit. All right. And you can zoom in and zoom out your samples like this right here, adjust the start and end points. Only thing I'm going to worry about right now, so I'm just going to worry about is the endpoints like this right here. Now, if you're wondering why I did it like that, it's just basically because when I'm going to my next sample start point, I want to make sure that there's enough end point on that sample. So when I'm coming back in, it's going to cut that sample off. I don't want any hesitant, like when I'm in the beat, like boom, boom, and then the sample's coming through and then it's that little sound. I don't want that. I want my samples to overlap. So Maschine 2.3 has the benefit of overlapping samples. So take advantage of that. All right, so now I can flip the sample. See, I can get like a different melody out of that. I don't want to play my sample exactly how it's looped, although you can do that using the loop function. As long as you got it on ADSR mode, you can loop the sample. So to get it with the beat's going to be kind of slowed down. So I'm going to try to flip it in there. So I'm doing this live with the camera. So if it goes off beat, you got to forgive me. I'm just trying to, I'll try to flip it live on the cam. So I got the beat pattern going like this right here. I'm going to have to wait for it to come back in, though, because I can't hit that button in the loop at the same time. It started that quick, so I'm going to have to wait for it to come back in. So check it out. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. Yeah, when I drag and drop that, this is what happens. It maps it out. It auto maps that joint. So that right there is going to be like perfectly on time. That's something that I don't want, but you can do it that way if you want to do it that way. Like if I hit the play button here. You can do it like that too, but I'm not going to do it like that. I like to flip my samples up a little bit different, try to disguise them up. You know the game. You know how I go with hip hop. You take a sample, you don't want nobody to know where you got that sample from. That's mandatory law. That's the code of hip hop. You got a sample, you don't want nobody to know where you got that sample from. That's just the game, man. But all right, I got the sample. I'm gonna leave it on the screen right here so y'all can see it. And again, I'm waiting for that beat to come back in and see if we can flip it up a little bit different. Cause if you want to know the beats per minute, okay, 83.60. Let me get into that first. Okay, like when you go to edit on the edit screen, when you hit the I think it's the fifth button. When you click on that, it's gonna take you to what's called your time stretch mode. Then you hit settings. Okay, you got different time stretch settings right here. You got beat free mode. You can speed a sample up, slow a sample down, whatever you want to do. Okay, you see right there it says source beats per minute is 83.60. That's why it was perfectly on time when I did it like that, because I put the source beat per minutes to match. Now, if you got a new beats per minute in your session, like if your session is 96, 100 or whatever the case may be, you can speed that sample up or slow that sample down depending on the beats per minute of your session. So that's how that works as far as your time stretching goes. You just sit there and you click apply and it'll speed your sample up or slow your sample down. Or you could do individual slice points. You could time stretch individual slice points. It doesn't have to be the whole sample. But in this particular situation, I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and get back into let's go to edit mode. Truncate. I already got the samples truncated the way I want to truncate it. So now I can just flip the sample. I got the beat going like this right here. You know what I mean? Flipping them joints up and they're getting like a whole different beat pattern. Now I'm doing this live on the camera, you know what I mean? So if this joint is kind of, off beat, you got to forgive me for that because, again, this is live. There's no, pattern down here. I'm doing all this joint live. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So let me go ahead and show you guys something else because I know somebody's going to ask. Okay, here's this sample right here. This is the sample we just used. I know there's somebody who's going to want to know how to loop this joint up. But there's different things you can do in here. I mean, you can take samples, you can fade them out. Like if I highlight this section right here, I could fade this down like this right here. You know, you can fade samples. I'm gonna Control Z that back. All right, if I wanted to come in here and cut a part out, I could do that. If I wanted to truncate the sample, you know, a lot of times you might get like a click or a pop in a sample. Like, let's say if you got a dirty vinyl record and it's real dirty, and let's say this little kick right here represents a click or a pop in a record and it's driving you nuts. You just highlight that little section like this right here and you press silence. Now that little sound won't even be there. Like, you won't even notice it's even gone. Like, that right there was like a little kick drum in the background of the sample. But if I go like this right here, you know, you heard it audio dip because that kick is really prominent. But with a click or a pop, you really wouldn't be able to tell that it was gone. The sample would play clean. Trust me on that. Like, if you're in your lab, find a sample with a click or a pop in it and do what I just told you. And when you play it back, I guarantee you it'll play smooth, man, to take that click and pop out. And you could duplicate parts of samples, whatever the case may be. Like, if I want this little part right here, you know, and I wanted to copy that, and then maybe I wanted it over here instead or something like that. Press paste. I can add it in there like that. You know, you get the idea on that. You know, DC correct, you know, truncate, normalize samples. Like, if you want samples to be a little bit more evenly tuned, you see how it just normalized that sample. It brought that up. You know, then you got your zone map right here where you can stack and layer samples. You know, if you want to trigger them by certain velocities or whatever the case may be. Down here's your root note. You know, if you want to drag your root note and have, you know, your samples on certain keys, you could do that. 9 times out of 10, you'll do that if you're building like an instrument or something like that and looping up the file or whatever. So I believe Native Instruments default this to C3 when you're doing it like this, though. You know, then you got this little screen over here where you can, you know, look at your sample over here. That's another way you can take a look at it. Okay, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna jump over here to the mixer screen, and again, this is already set on ADSR mode, so that's good. So we'll just do it like this here. So if you want to loop your sample, you have a loop icon right here when you turn this on, like this right here. You notice how this looper comes on. Okay, you see like the little looper going like this right here, right? So wherever this is in this joint is where it's gonna loop. This right here is a separate bar. This is the start of the sample. Okay, if you want it to loop perfectly, it's got to be right with that. Unless you want a sample where you want it to play and then you wanted it specifically just to loop this little part. Like, if I play it from right here, it's going to play, then loop that little part in. I don't know what that's going to sound like, but so it's going to come back. See what I mean? How it came back. So that's the benefit of ADSR mode, because when you let go of the button, the sound stops. So if you want your sample to perfectly loop, you got to have this part all the way to the beginning like this right here. Okay, so then that way when it plays, it's going to play like this right here. And right back there, it's going to come back and just keep looping. See how it loop perfect? You know what I'm saying? It'll loop perfect. Then you can get into other areas. You know, if you want to get into your MPC 60 mode, change the sound engine. 9 times out of 10, to me, that makes the highs come up a little bit better. 1200, that's like more bass. More bass, more grit, more of like that, I guess you could say 12-bit sound. Then it got like different filters, low pass and high pass. You know, all them engines is there. You can get in there and do whatever. You know, reverse samples. You know what I mean? You can flip it like that. All type of joints up in this joint, man. You already know Maschine 2.3 is dope. Man, you can't even front, man. Maschine 2.3 is banging. You know what time it is. You got different filters in here. Low pass, high pass. I mean, you just get in here, just do your sound design. Like, you know, if you want to filter certain areas of the sample, maybe you want to get that bass, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop producers know what I'm talking about. When you filter that bass and then layer that bass sample on top of that clean sample. Like, you take that right there and then matter of fact, I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about right now. I'm gonna take that filtered sample, I'm gonna paste it right here. All right, I'm gonna take these two right here and I'm gonna link these together like this right here. I'm gonna link them in choke group 4, right? Then I'm gonna go to this one and I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go back. Okay. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna have to silence this one right quick so it doesn't. Okay, now I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna filter this one kind of clean. The bad part is I can't EQ the cutoff, but you get the idea. That's more clean right there, right? High pass, and I can roll that back a little bit. Yeah, about right there. So now that's no bass. So now you got the clean and then you got the dirty one right here. And they're linked. So now when I play them together, so you got one clean there. You got one dirty one there. So when I link these joints together, alright, so now when I play these together, you see what I mean? Like if I mute this one, that's dirty. If I mute this one, that's clean. So now we got a whole 2 different sounds. Then I go like this right here, and I layer it on joints like this right here. So now they're gonna really, really pop. You hear that? And that's in 1200 low mode. So let's imagine standard. Or MPC 60. Boom. All right, man. So we're going to hold it up right there. I don't want to run too long, man. It's your boy Fontaine, VIP, Soundlab.com. Be sure to come by the website, pick up some banging drum kits, man. Again, we hire a lot of independent sound designers to bring you guys some banging drum samples. You owe it to your lab, man. Have some smack coming up out your lab. Matter of fact, let me let you hear that drum kit one more time. This little downbeat. Banging drum samples, man. Banging drum samples, man. Head over to www.vipsoundlab.com. Also, a message to all the VIP members. We just uploaded the new Isotope Ozone 6 presets. They're pre-tagged and pre-filtered. We also uploaded VIP mastering chain. It's a professional mastering chain that I got my hands on, man. So that mastering chain, trust me, it is preset to bang. You will have to do, man, like really little to none tweaking if you use it right, because the specific chain order we have in there set up. We got some new presets for the new effects. For example, in let me see where it's at. Like the new cabinet, I got some presets for the cabinet. It has like some cabinets like 412s in a cabinet, and then they got like 4 8, something like that, man. It's in there, but I got the presets in there. We got like, I don't know, maybe like 10, 15 drum presets to make your drums bang using them cabinets. You know, if you want to add a little character and flavor to your drums. What else do we have? Let me see. These are those right there. Okay, like for example, this distortion Mulholland, like that's based off of a guitar rig. What is it? The control room. They got like the control room presets in this joint now, so that's dope. Reverb. I got some width and output EQ presets. You know, a lot of different presets, man. All these is free. They're pre-tagged and filtered. Just head over to the website and you can download them. You know what I'm saying? I think we got some group. Let me see. Yeah, a Nexus 2 preset expansion bank. Those are tagged and filtered. right here. We got some of them joints in there. And I also got another expansion pack we just put out. That's a free download for some more presets. I can't remember right now, man. But just head over to the website and you can download all those for free. All right, man. So I'm out of here, man. It's your boy Fontaine, VIPSoundlab.com. Peace.